What comes next after you learn corkscrews? Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today I'm showing you what comes next after you get down that first horizontal plane move that most of us learn, the corkscrew. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow DNA, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultrapoi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I've got down in the description of this video. And a special thanks to the first non-business friend of the channel, Johnny Howard. Thanks so much for your support, Johnny. I know you know the feeling. You've just learned a brand new trick that you worked so hard on, and you know that there's a bunch of other stuff to go out there and get and learn and everything, but at the same time, you're kind of like, I just did all this work. I want to get more out of this before I go down another rabbit hole. Well, you're in luck. That's the whole purpose of this series. What comes next? It's not quite a tutorial, it's not a combo, it's somewhere in between. It's basically me showing you how you can get the most awesome stuff out of what you've already learned. And normally I take requests for these, but I'm starting a 2-week series where I'm covering moves that, quite frankly, I just want to play with. So I hope you will give me the indulgence here. This week we are covering corkscrews. I think I have become somewhat infamous for playing around with horizontal plane moves, and corkscrews are definitely the first one that a lot of us learn. So I thought that this would be a great entry point into showing some of the things that I like to do with corkscrews and some of the things that I think you ought to be doing with them as well. But I am still taking requests. So please leave comments down below of moves that you'd like to see me tackle in this series, and I will get to them when I can. And in the meantime, let's go check out some corkscrews, shall we? So our first variation is going to be pretty obvious. It's going to be the 4-beat corkscrew. So a lot of the same techniques that are involved in learning the 5-beat weave come into play here as well. From learning how to add an extra degree of twist with your wrists in contact with each other, to switching up which hand is leading as you go up and down through the pattern. And frankly, this is one of those moves that I use so often, I'm frequently not even conscious of the fact that I'm using it, which becomes a really big pain when I'm putting together combo tutorials and I throw a corkscrew in there and I don't realize until I've gotten the footage back, oh, I did a 4-beat there when I meant to do a 2-beat. Whoops. Another great side effect of this is that it takes a little bit longer to complete the full pattern. This gives you some time to move and adjust and move your body how you want to in tandem with it. Highly recommended. Now getting into some weirder territory, this next trick is something that I refer to as the DNA corkscrew. I think other people have different names for it, but I think you'll understand why I use that name as you see it. Now this one's really cool because it adds a horizontal buzzsaw going both up and down through the pattern. Of course, this winds up meaning that each hand actually has 2 beats on one side, either top or bottom, and only 1 beat on the other side. All that said though, the net result of this looks really eye-catching. It's also super duper helpful because there's lots of transitions that you can use going in and out of that horizontal buzzsaw. Like, for example, if you want to split out of that into some stalls at the side, or you have some move that involves getting into that horizontal buzzsaw space to begin with. It's also quite a trip to just add that in the middle of doing a regular corkscrew, because just like the 4-beat corkscrew, it gives you a little bit more time to go through it and kind of trips out the move a little bit more. Plus which, anybody who's only marginally familiar with poi spinning, when they see this come out, will definitely have a moment of, wait, what just happened? Now, before I share with you my final pick for what comes next after you learn the corkscrew, I do have a favor to ask. If you've come this far, it probably means that you like poi tricks and flow arts, and you know what? I make lots of videos on those topics. So, if you would do me the favor of subscribing to the channel, maybe leaving a like or a comment, not only does this mean that you find out when I drop my next video, but also it helps the channel grow and helps other people find my videos. So, please and thank you in advance. And now, my number 1 pick for what comes next after you learn the corkscrew. Yeah, this is a bit of a pivot. I'm going with horizontal isolations here, which I think is a term that quite a lot of poi spinners are not even familiar with. Those 2 words do not usually appear in sentences together, which is kind of funny because one of the ways that we're taught to practice isolations is actually to do them in a horizontal plane. So, of course, doing that is hardly foreign to us, but I doubt a lot of people would think to do it as anything other than a drill. Technically speaking, you don't actually need to have any knowledge related to corkscrews in order to perform this, but they make for a great transition back and forth between each other. And it becomes another one of those great tools that you can add to your toolbox in terms of playing around with horizontal planes. It also is a great way to bring all of that to a rest. So those were my 3 picks for what comes next after you learn corkscrews. What would your picks be? Let me know down in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Do you like my flow sessions, my vlogs, and yes, what comes next? Well, I'm on a mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the wider world and help people connect with their brains and their bodies through prop spinning. So help me do it. You can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/DirectsFactorPoi and signing up. There you can get early access to all of my content, as well as a say in what topics I tackle in the future, plus great rewards such as getting your own private lesson delivered to your inbox every single week that are only available to my Patreon subscribers. Go check that out. Please and thank you. And speaking of thank yous, I've got a big one because this video would not be possible without the kind support of these amazing people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on this channel possible. Thank you all so much. You rock, and I love you dearly. I hope you all have happy holidays. So, did I cover your favorite variation on the corkscrew? Let me know. Did I miss a really obvious choice? Was the horizontal isolation way too much of a pivot? Let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to a playlist full of other videos in the What Comes Next series down in the description, as well as up on screen if you are watching on YouTube. Please make sure to get outside and flow today, no matter how cold it happens to be, and I'll see you with a new video on Monday. Peace.